Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to the Road to Rank 1, the series where I break down and analyze Hero League games. For today's video, I'll be playing as E.T.C in Blackheart's Bay. As we take a look at the final draft for the match, let's analyze the threats on the enemy team. First up is Raynor with Penetrating Round. This ability forces me to play with Stage Dive instead of Mosh Pit. Yeah, maybe I can get him in the Power Slide Mosh Pit combo, but I can't guarantee that I'll land that every time. If I fail to do so, he'll instantly interrupt any mosh pit with his knockback. As a result, now Abathur becomes a threat. I won't be able to split push as effectively since Abathur will be able to hold his own against me with his global symbiote. Finally, starting at level 16, I have to be careful with getting blown up while stun locked by Muradin. They have access to 2 Blood for Bloods or a vulnerability debuff that will shred right through my tankiness. With that said, let's jump into the game. Today we'll be taking a look at a high MMR around 3500 solo queue game. The first thing you have to do in Blackhearts is decide whether you're fighting at the vision or just going to lanes. Because they have an Abathur, we decide to force a fight. As we approached the vision, Abathur had placed a couple of really nice mines that alerted his entire team and prevented the fight. As the laning phase begins, we have a really strange split when Tychus and Lily decided to go top, leaving just me and Thrall mid. I'm not sure if they forgot about the chests at 50 seconds or if they thought soaking one top lane was worth more than 5 coins, but either way, we should have played much more passively than we did. Thrall decides to commit to a 2v4, gets bursted down, and we concede any little control we had over mid right as the chest spawns. Thankfully, Tychus came down in time to contest it, followed by Lily soon after. Pause it here. Right as soon as the chest breaks, I knock Raynor into the minions away from my team. Tychus goes full man mode and dashes forward to pick up 2 coins, and both Muradin and Rhaegar jump on him. I managed to squeeze in between Tychus and the enemies, giving him enough room to get away by body blocking them. This, however, left me in a terrible position, which made all 3 enemies tunnel on me. While Rhaegar and Muradin chased, Raynor was left behind, giving my team an easy kill as I got away. Moral of the story? Don't chase targets with low health, especially when they don't have coins. After the action died down, I transitioned to the role of a solo roamer. A moving ward, if you will. Since we had 1 person in each lane, I was able to move around the map, gathering information, preventing ganks, stopping mercenaries, and assisting lanes that needed help. I immediately see an opportunity to gank Sylvanas in bottom. As I come in, the first thing I do is knock her backwards into my Vala to get some damage. Predicting that she was going to throw her haunting wave towards her towers, both me and Vala start moving in that direction. Unfortunately, because I didn't see the spell animation go off initially, I stutter stepped for a split second after second guessing my decision. As a result, when she finally took the teleport, I was off by less than a step from landing the power slide. Had I trusted my gut and kept running, we would have easily secured the kill. Exactly a minute goes by and I noticed that Sylvanas had left bottom lane. I immediately assumed she was doing her easy camp, so I pinged that I was headed in that direction for my team to see. Pause it here. Notice that the time of the ping is 3 minutes and 18 seconds. My Vala is bottom lane and the enemy Raynor, Muradin, and Rhaegar are all near the top vision. As I get to the brush, I'm able to confirm that she was indeed doing the camp. It is now 3:24. 6 seconds have passed since my initial ping. Now what I should have done here is waited for her to finish the last giant, power slide in there, knock her away, steal the camp, and get away with my life. Instead, I get anxious and jump on her for the kill. Thanks to an Abathur shield and 1 or 2 movement errors on my part, she's able to get away with a sliver of health. Pause it one more time. It has now been 15 seconds since my original ping, and Vala is still at the bottom. At this point, knowing that the enemy team was collapsing on me since they had disappeared from the minimap, I should have counted my losses, mounted up, and ran for my life. Maybe I would have made it out in time, maybe not. Either way, I want to break down what happened because it is the most important thing you need to understand to be successful at solo queuing in this game. That play was entirely my fault. Yes, my call to invade the giants was good. And yes, if Vala had come, we would have gotten a huge advantage. The problem is, she didn't. And when I saw that she wasn't going to thanks to the minimap, I should have simply backed away. It's not about why Vala wasn't there, but about why I kept moving forward with my plan even after knowing she wasn't coming. Now don't get me wrong, Vala could have definitely played that better. There's this flawed rule that was spread around this game's community that states that until level 10, all you have to do is soak lanes. Don't move around the map, don't react, just soak. That is a terrible way of playing this game. I'm not saying you shouldn't soak, it is actually the most important part of the early game, but you can approach a heroes match like you would a World of Warcraft raid boss. There is no predetermined strategy against some scripted boss that always reacts the same way. You're playing against real people, who all play differently every single time, in a game where action is constantly happening and you need to make decisions every minute of the game that will determine the final outcome. Should you always leave lane to go help a teammate? No. Should you always mindlessly stay in lane soaking regardless of what's happening around you? No. This game is not black and white. What you were watching while I was explaining that is my team making the exact same mistake. They knew that Lily was top, they knew that I had just died, and they still contested the turn-in even though it was a 3v4. A few minutes later, after successfully ganking an overextended Sylvanas in bottom, the chest spawned for the second time. We easily take the bottom one before moving to help our teammates up top. To our surprise, we were going into a war that was already lost. Even though they knew me and Vala were bottom and that Thrall was top, Tychus and Lily still decided to contest the chest 2v4. Before any real fighting begun, we had already lost 2 teammates. We managed to get the Muradin somehow and almost the Sylvanas, who had come in from a terrible position. The action completely stops for a few minutes, allowing both teams to unlock their heroic abilities, and for me to get a free turn-in. At this point, I let my team know that I was going to start split pushing thanks to stage dive. As soon as I do that, my team gets caught near the turn-in, triggering my unnecessary reaction. Even though every other enemy was missing from the map, our Tychus was still mid, and my team had managed to get away safely, I went in with stage dive like an idiot. Pause it here. I just got pushed back by the Rainer, giving me a way out. All I had to do was power slide in that direction and run away with my team. But no, I was in too deep, I wasn't thinking straight, and I wanted blood. I managed to catch both Rhaegar and Sylvanas in the power slide, knocking them into a huge 4-man sundering by Thrall. Vala then expertly follows it up with a 2-man rain of vengeance, killing Sylvanas. I try to move into the brush to prevent vision from the Rainer, but unfortunately Rhaegar was in it too. After my death, Thrall ends up getting bursted down after taking the solo frontline position, but Tychus was now in the fight. We managed to somehow turn my mistake into an even 2-for-2 trade. With both teams still relatively equal in levels, I lead my team to the turn-in to get a quick pick. As a tank, one of the easiest things to abuse in solo queue is poor positioning, but to do so, you have to take the initiative. Noticing that they had just cleared the hard camp, I knew that they would be coming down to check on the turn-in. As I move forward, I find the Rainer out of position. Pause it here. Unfortunately, this isn't the best case scenario for us. 3 of our members are lagging behind and get split by the rest of the enemy team near the top side. Either way, me and Thrall press on towards the Rainer. Pause it again. Now this is just awkward. Thrall is dead, I'm in the middle of the enemy team, my team is now coming towards me, and their Rhaegar is split near the top side. Knowing they had no vision of anything past the bush, I immediately start walking towards my team, forcing them to chase on blindly. As they do, Vala gets a huge 2-man rain of vengeance, killing the Sylvanas. Pause it one more time. At this point, I have 2 options. I can zone out the Rainer, or I can peel for my Tychus since both Muradin and Rhaegar had jumped on him. Noticing that Vala was adamantly charging for the Rainer, I opt for the second option. As Tychus kites towards me, I wait for the perfect opportunity to knock Muradin next to Rhaegar to land a perfect 2-man power slide, allowing my team to clean up the fight. We managed to kill 4 of their members despite having lost Thrall first at the beginning of the fight. The main reason? Positioning. While Rhaegar was completely zoned out top, our Lily always stayed far enough to never be in danger, but close enough to constantly heal anyone that needed it. A minute and a half later, and noticing that Sylvanas was bottom, I tell my team to contest the boss while I split push. If they were there, I could easily get there much faster than Sylvanas, and if they came for me, my team would be able to take a free boss. Sylvanas ends up baiting me into a fight, knowing that Rainer was on his way and that Abathur was on her. As soon as this happened, my team correctly started working on the boss. We managed to take the boss uncontested right before the enemy team shows up. While the enemy team was forced to defend the boss, we managed to get a full turn-in, giving us level 20. Once again, I begin split pushing to create global pressure. Noticing that my team had been caught near the turn-in, I stage dive in to start a fight. Here's the problem. For some reason, our Lily had decided to stay with me as I split push rather than with the team. When the fight starts, she's still all the way in mid. By the time I get there, it was too late. They already had superior positioning, and my attempt of grabbing attention away from my carries was completely ignored. Me and Vala quickly fall, followed by Lily, who died unnecessarily after dismounting despite getting there late. We lost 3 for none, and we were now behind the enemy team in experience. 2 minutes later, after we had all respawned and regrouped, we noticed that the boss was about to spawn. As a tank, it is your responsibility to lead your team. It is also your team's responsibility to let you lead and stay behind you. What you're going to see here is one of the main reasons these players are ranked where they are. See, we all knew they were missing, and that there was a chance they were doing the boss. Yet every single one of my teammates, despite what they thought was going on, had the discipline to stay behind me and let me decide. For me, there were 3 options. 1. They were hiding near the vision. 2. They were hiding near the boss. Or 3. They were actually fighting the boss. This is where I screwed up. All I had to do to find out what they were doing was press tab and look at the siege damage. If it was going up, they were obviously fighting the boss. If it wasn't, it was a bait. Thankfully, I end up guessing correctly and we don't get caught face checking. Pause it here. Check out both teams' positioning. My team is tightly grouped behind me, while the enemy team has been massively split by Sundering, leaving Raynor far away from his tank and healer. Look at what happens at my backline though. You see that arrow? That's Sylvana's heroic ability, ready to silence my entire team for 2.5 seconds. To make it even worse, Lily has just activated her own heroic ability, Jug of 1,000 Cups, which is going to get instantly shut down when she gets silenced. As a result, my entire team is forced to run away, leaving just me and Thrall near the action. Thrall gets instantly obliterated, making it a 4v5. Pause it again. My job here is simple. All I have to do is zone out the backline while my team kills Muradin. It's not the greatest of plans since they have a Rhaegar with ancestral healing available, but Thrall is dead and it's the only plan we got. Thanks to this beautiful Rain of Vengeance and my fat ass cow blocking the way, we're able to force the Rhaegar away before he can get it off. With that, everything changed. Their front line is gone and the rest of my teammates are very healthy. At the end, we're able to chase down the Sylvanas, turning another shaky fight in our favor, ending in a 3-for-1 and securing the boss. With the boss still hammering away at their keep, both chests spawn, giving us enough coins for a final turn-in. I noticed that the boss had managed to destroy the top keep, and that with only 1 keep remaining, the ship would actually get some shots on the core. I told my team to follow me as we run down bottom lane to kill the last remaining keep and dive in for their core. As we get to the keep, I catch the Raynor out of position, which triggers the use of almost every heroic ability by both teams. Knowing that we could easily out-sustain them thanks to Lily, we fall back and recover before pressing forward. With all of us once again healthy, we dive the core and burn it down for the win. That's gonna do it for this episode of Road to Rank 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys missed it, GetBonkd.com officially launched on Sunday, and even though it had a little bit of server issues, everything should be working again. If you're looking for a place to find constantly up-to-date guides and tier lists for every single patch the day they come out, make sure to check it out. If you guys want to stay up to date with my video and website progress, make sure you follow me on Twitter at GetBonkd. I post things like videos I'm working on next, when you can expect them, if I release new content on the site, anything related to GetBonkd's content. Thanks again for watching, I'm E.T.C, and don't forget to have fun.
You are not prepared!